Welcome to the deep dive. Ever found yourself staring at the scale, just completely baffled by what it's saying day to day? One day you're up, the next day down, and you just can't figure out if you're actually making progress.
Oh, absolutely. It's a really common frustration.
Well, today we're diving deep into some actual personal health data.
Mhm.
Specifically, someone's daily body weight tracking from April to June 2025.
Yeah, and it's a great case study.
It really illustrates why those daily blips, they aren't the whole story.
Exactly. Our mission here is really to pull out the key insights from this personal data. We want to show you how to distinguish between those everyday, often kind of misleading fluctuations
Right.
and the more significant underlying trends. It's about seeing the real progress, not getting derailed by the daily roller coaster.
Okay, so let's get right into it then. Looking at this data, April through June, what was the main pattern? The big picture amidst all those daily ups and downs.
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is that despite all that noise, the core finding for April to June actually shows a pretty consistent, healthy downward trend.
Really? So it was working.
Yeah, it clearly signals the dieting efforts were effective. It's, a testament to sticking with it, even when the scale seems to be jumping around day by day.
But what causes those daily swings? I mean, it can be so disheartening when you feel like you're doing everything right and the scale still pops up. How misleading can one day actually be?
That's a great question, and it really comes down to understanding your body a bit better, those daily fluctuations. They're completely normal. It's just how body weight works.
Okay.
Think about it. Just drinking a liter of water adds a kilogram instantly to the scale. So hydration levels, how much salt you ate, when you last had a meal, even if you're dealing with a bit of inflammation or sickness.
Okay.
All that stuff can cause pretty significant temporary shifts. Your body might just be holding on to water, not actually gaining fat, and that can easily swing things by 1 or even 2 kilograms day to day.
Wow, 1 or 2 kilos.
Yeah. So the number isn't lying exactly, but it's definitely not telling the full story about your body composition at that moment.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay, let's zoom in then on the months April, May, June, because the details often tell a story, right? What specific patterns do we see there?
Absolutely. So in April, the weight mostly bounced between, say, 68 and 69 kilograms. But even within that, you could already spot a gentle downward slope starting.
Okay.
Moving into May, that general decline continued, although there was a noticeable peak back up near 69 kilograms.
Right, I saw that. What was that?
The source actually notes it was linked to increased unhealthy food intake, which is a perfect example, right? Probably some water retention, maybe gut contents, a short-term blip.
And it went back down.
Yeah, it resolves pretty quickly. Then by June, the weight was mostly below 68 kilograms. It even hit a low point of 66.5 kilograms early in the month.
Okay, 66.5. That's quite a dip.
And this specific dip was linked in the notes to inflammation and sickness, which often causes temporary weight loss, maybe from reduced appetite or your metabolism working harder.
Interesting.
Then after a temporary rise again, back to around 68.5 kilograms mid-month, again mentioning inflammation and sickness, the weight settled back down. It finished the month in the 67.0 to 67.5 kilogram range, so it successfully kept that overall downward trend going.
So even with those specific events, the unhealthy food, the sickness, the underlying direction held firm. That's key.
Exactly.
Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, like the whole year to date from January to June, how does this April-June period fit?
Yeah.
And I guess, how do you learn to trust that subtle underlying direction when the daily numbers are bouncing all over?
Yeah, great point. If we zoom out to that January to June view, the overall trajectory is, well, it's very slight, almost flat actually, but ultimately it is downward for the average weight.
Okay, subtle but down.
Subtle but down. But the challenge, like you said, is that the most prominent thing you see isn't that gentle slope. It's the big daily and weekly swings, often bouncing between like 66.5 kilograms and over 69 kilograms.
So how do you trust the trend then?
You really need to look at something like a rolling average. Or even just plot your weight maybe once a week, not every single day. Or look at a trend line on a chart.
Okay, like smoothing it out.
Exactly. It filters out that daily noise. It's kind of like watching the tide come in. You see individual waves crashing back and forth, but the overall water level is steadily rising. You need that longer view.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So it's clear then, despite those very normal ups and downs, the underlying trend here was healthy and positive. It really shows the power of looking beyond just today's number. Focus on the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Ultimately, this deep dive shows us that true progress, certainly in personal metrics like weight, it's almost always found in that long-term trend, not the daily numbers. Focusing on that overall trajectory just gives you a much more accurate and frankly more valuable assessment of your efforts, and it helps you avoid getting discouraged by those fleeting daily readings.
Totally. It's about shifting your mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the really interesting thing is, this doesn't just apply to weight, does it?
Not at all.
This whole idea, this trend over fluctuation thinking, you can apply it almost anywhere in your life. Think about maybe learning a new skill or
Yeah.
your personal finances or even just your daily energy levels versus how you feel over a whole month.
Right. So much variation day to day.
Exactly. So the question for you listening is, what underlying trends might you be missing? What progress are you maybe not seeing because you're getting caught up in the daily noise? Instead of looking at the long-term story. Something to think about.